It seems you have died, my friend. Temporary character death is bound to happen eventually in GemStone. If you're lucky, another player will recover your body and bring you back to town. It's helpful to use the ESP or LNet chat networks to request help along with where you died. Out-of-character speech, including room numbers, are totally acceptable when using ESP or Lich help networks. Don't worry about needing to rely on someone else for help either in this regard, as it's a natural part of the gameplay. You can always tip your rescuer a few silvers or a gem for the trouble, and consider paying the gesture forward by rescuing others in the future if you are able. A quick call out if you decide to be a rescuer. Since this is a role-playing game, an individual character may have a unique perspective on how the whole death process works, and this could affect how they want to be helped, if at all. It's good etiquette to ask a fallen player if they want help before dragging them away. A seasoned player or cleric will preserve you using a spell or flask. This will extend the timer before you naturally decay. We'll talk more about decaying later on. After you're preserved, the rescuer will drag you to safety or use magic to return to town. Before you can get back on your feet, you'll need some healing, or at least have your wounds tended so you don't bleed out during resurrection. After being healed or tended, a cleric will use the Well of Life spell to link their character to yours. This creates a special bond, and if you die within a few minutes of being raised, you'll prevent that cleric from raising anyone else for around an hour. Some clerics will be very forthright about how unhappy they'll be if you run off too soon and die. This is also why many clerics won't raise anyone who isn't talking. They don't want an AFK scripter to resume hunting and immediately die as they run back out to rats or wherever. The cleric might ask if you want a Chrism. A Chrism is a holy gem that helps you recover from death quicker, and a full Chrism will save any experience in your head that you have not yet absorbed. Most players want a full Chrism nowadays. Only a cleric can wave a Chrism gem at a dead player. The last step is for a cleric to cast the Raise Dead spell, and poof, you're on your feet again. Typing the info command on a recently returned character will show lowered stats on the right-hand side. Just stay put for a few minutes, and those stats will be normal again, with the exception of players over 10 may notice a lingering constitution penalty for repeated deaths. The Chrism gem will reduce the time you have to wait for your stats to come back. Let's visit the Death Sting page on the wiki for some additional reading. This will lead us into Deeds, which is another game puzzle, so beware of more spoilers. We mentioned Decay earlier. Decaying means you are not able to be rescued by another player, and you're naturally returned to life by the game either at a holy altar or a pre-designated spot. The natural decay timer is different depending on your character's race. Should you not want to wait the full decay timer, you can use the command Depart Confirm to immediately be brought back to life. You will receive a more severe penalty if you use this command though. We have a game mechanic called Deeds where you complete a game puzzle and are awarded favors from the in-universe Arcadi, specifically Lorminstra. If you die and have favors saved up, your death sting penalty is not as bad for that resurrection. I'll have links for deed acquisition and other articles or citations that relate to this whole topic in the description. As a general tip, keep at least 10 deeds. Jara has a society ability that uses the deed currency, so at max level I keep around 40 deeds. Years ago we had something called Demonic, where if you died without deeds, your character was permanently deleted. Hardcore mode anyone? That is no longer the case, and if you die without deeds, you just receive a more harsh sting penalty. The severity of sting can be a temporary stat loss or an experience penalty. If you want to have the least amount of sting after a death, always have deeds, use a Chrism gem, and be raised by a player. If you want to have the worst possible sting after death, never have deeds and immediately depart confirm when you die. There are a few ways to fix sting. If it's stat loss, just wait. If it's an experience penalty, there's another game puzzle involving a priestess who wanders around town, or you can just buy Death Sting Salve from another player or the SimuCoin Store. I spoil myself. If I know I can't be rescued due to it being a low population time of day, or if I don't have time to wait, I'll just depart and use Salve. Salve is the best thing to remove stat loss, con loss, and experience penalties. You can immediately remove stat loss after death with Salve. In most cases, zero downtime. It's one of the best items in the game, hands down. It saves you time, and time is a precious finite resource that's worth investing every silver in. If you're looking for a script to help you remove sting or purchase deeds for you using in-game silvers, we definitely have those too. We'll check out our options tomorrow in our next video, Lich Scripts Part 2.